City Park is going through changes that aim to ensure the park can keep up with expanding demand while protecting the pieces that make it uniquely New Orleans.
Rob Krieger sat down with the park CEO and details the new operation model that will ensure City Park remains a treasure of the community for years to come.
Whether it's beneath the stately oaks with their sprawling branches, along the wandering bayou crowned with its charming bridges, through the twisting paths of the Couturier forest, or along the ladybug speeding below a canopy of trees while lights shimmer with the fond glow of the holidays, there's no doubt most have some connection to City Park. A jewel nestled just beyond the bustling businesses of downtown, stretching through miles of the city from the heart of New Orleans to the edge of Lake Pontchartrain.
Parks all have a certain essence. And I think right now, if I were to say to anyone, City Park, you immediately begin to think of certain iconic things. It may be the trees, it may be the bridges, or it may be your memories.
Carol Lambright, City Park CEO, hopes to preserve those memories while creating and maintaining an inviting space that fosters similar thoughts in the future. At the beginning of November, Lambright and her team ushered in a new era for City Park. During a picnic for park employees, the crew at the park celebrated the change, shifting from a state agency to a nonprofit conservancy model, a plan she believes will allow the park to build a brighter future across its 1,300-acre footprint.
City Park is bigger than Gretna. It is bigger than Harahan. So think of it like a small city. It has all the complexities. It even has school traffic, right? And its own police force. I mean, it has all the complexities of a small city. But what it doesn't have is a tax base.
Before the recent change, City Park officials could not fundraise. Money came in through a separate association known as the Friends of City Park, but it didn't allow the park to use its finances efficiently. Now Lambright says the park will have the ability to make savvy decisions while ensuring the goal of stewardship is front and center.
We were missing a widget, right? The widget we were missing was being a nonprofit so that we could go out and do major gift fundraising. It removes a little bit of red tape from the government process, but not much, because we still want that accountability to the public. We're not removing that at all. This is not privatization of public space.
Lambright's vision for the park would ensure it is a destination not just for the neighbors who live nearby, but a draw for people eager to find their own place in the city.
Big urban parks do so many things. Not only are they destinations, right? They're a respite from the urban environment, but they are also economic drivers.
The conservancy model is one used across the country, driving that sense of place for a community while fostering a healthy park system. It's a strategy used in New York at Central Park and in San Francisco at Golden Gate Park, iconic escapes from major metropolises. But Lambright ensures the City Park Conservancy isn't looking to mimic those plans.
Each park has its own essence. We're not going to flip it to Central Park. Central Park is appropriate to New York, where it is. Golden Gate Park is appropriate to San Francisco, where it is. How can City Park serve New Orleans, and how can it have that kind of sense of place, right? The minute you're in it, you know you're in New Orleans.
That starts with a dialogue between the Conservancy and the community. Lambright wants to learn what keeps people coming back, which parts of the park are important to New Orleans, even why some people may skip City Park altogether.
You know, I think every single person would have a different answer to that. For the folks who walk the tracks here every day, it might be they are so sick of that puddle, right, that they have to walk around and they have to go into the mud for, or it might be that they're just really not comfortable using the restrooms here.
It's the type of details the Conservancy hopes to gather to inform future decisions, including repairs or upgrades of some of the most iconic structures in the park, like Tad Gormley Stadium, home to some of the greatest gridiron rivalries in the city, even historic
PA. And if you can kind of get past the bushes on the front, it has the most beautiful bas relief. It's this Beaux-Art, giant kind of Flintstone of a building, right, that everybody has been to. Everybody, their parents have been to it, right? I mean, it's story after story after story, and it looks terrible.
Not to mention hosting football games and events comes at a loss of about $200,000 a year, according to Lambright. It's just one asset in the park that could see restoration and revitalization thanks to potential funds the Conservancy can now raise. Still, Lambright knows these places are important to the New Orleans community, and change simply isn't the answer.
Public space is so personal to the people that use it. You know, it may be where they walk the track every day while they had cancer, right? Or their parents got engaged on a certain bench. It's so personal, and to mess with it, right? You have to do it with a lot of information and a lot of input.
The Conservancy plans to hold community meetings to get that input across the board in an effort to make this jewel of New Orleans even more enticing.
I think we can improve the user experience. We can make sure the bathrooms are better and clean, right? We can make sure there's signage. We can make sure that the areas of the park that you've heard about, but you haven't quite known how to use it. For a lot of folks, that could be Couturier Forest or the Wisner track.
Lambright suggests some improvements could include updated signage, an increased security program, consolidation of sports fields to facilitate the use of the fields and attract tournaments for athletes. Just pieces of a puzzle she wants to build with the help of the people who walk these paths.
We're just here to kind of peel that back a little bit and say, what is sacrosanct here? But also, what can be improved?
Overall, Lambright is confident the City Park Conservancy will maintain the essence of this essential escape and create a stronger future for recreation, a bolder vision for exploration, and an essential space for those fond memories entwined to these sprawling acres like the unwavering roots of its enduring oaks. Rob Krieger, Fox 8, Local First.
City Park continues to offer ways to support the park, from donations, memberships to Friends of City Park, and volunteer opportunities.
Yeah, and you can also support the park by visiting the Botanical Gardens, Storyland, the Carousel Gardens, City Putt, or by purchasing your tickets to Celebration in the Oaks.